In today's episode, Hika the Sparrow gives us a tour of a home nestled in the trees and plains beside a river. Oh, the rain! I'm thrilled it's raining. I have to admit, I was worried for a while that it won't come. The river has been dwindling for the past few years. We've had storms and drizzles here and there, but it wasn't enough to replenish the water. Another summer, and the river would have completely vanished. This drizzle seems promising. I think we'll have a great monsoon this year. We could have gone upstream, but the children are so young. They tire while flying too long. Oh, I should speak softer. They've just gone to sleep. Aw, they're so cute. Covered with baby fuzz, curled to stay warm. They look like tiny kiwis. It feels like they'll stay babies forever. But my friend tells me that time flies. One day you go food hunting, and by the time you return, they're bigger, prepping for their first flight. I do hope they grow a little quicker though. Tiny bones, eyes closed, they can't protect themselves at all. It worries me so much. I can barely sleep. It's true. A whisper of a strange sound, and I'm up, alert. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, worried about how they'll grow up, if they can stand all right, fly comfortably, hunt and eat well. Kids don't know anything. Look at them sleep so peacefully. Well, I suppose it's their age. I wouldn't want them to get worried about these things already. Would you look at that? The clouds are scattering, thinner now that they've shed. When the rain is strong, you can't notice, but it's the perfect weather right now. Look carefully at the raindrops falling on leaves. See those? The leaves behind my nest? The drops fall, pressing down on the surface for a moment, and then bounce and sprinkle as they bounce, disintegrating in the air. It's a beautiful sight. Did you know that we have a dance inspired by that? Oh, yes. Back in my dad's generation, every sparrow learned it, along with their first flight and hunt lessons. It used to be really important. But we don't learn it in our community anymore. Everyone who lives here migrated from their homelands long ago when we were really young, so none of us remember what the movements were. Maybe something like, what was it? Oh, anyway, I'll try to remember and show it to you later. I'd like to teach some of that to my kids when they have better control of their bodies. They can't even lift their tummies right now, so dancing is far off. My, during our conversation, the drizzle completely stopped. Oops, that was loud. The babies heard that, it seems. They're squirming. I should grab a snack for them. Would you like to join? I know a lovely spot closer to the river, not too far from here. Do you want to fly? Oh, great. Let's go then. The river runs through the whole plains, but it's much stronger a little further up. If we go slightly higher, we can see more of it. Look at the meandering trails of rouge and rose with streaks of white, a bit like patterns on a sparrow's back, if you think about it. It really makes me think I am meant to live here. How welcoming. If you observe the water carefully, you can see the fish, almost white, a bit bright. I can't tell colors very well, in all honesty. When I was younger, I used to have a friend who was a pigeon. Their vision is different from ours, from what I understand. They can see colors like green and blue, for example. I mean, the grass looks some version of green to you, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, from what I understand, I can only see a color called pink. My friend didn't tell me that. I met an elephant a long time ago who knew about sparrows. Oh, that elephant was really old, easily over 100. She's lived here for a long time, ever since she was born, I think. Sometimes, all the birds gather on her back and listen to her stories. I won't tell you any. You must listen to them from her. I can't tell them the way she does. But yes, she said sparrows see in pink, and she is very wise about most things. So I believe her. I'm still unsure what colors like rose or rouge are, but I just mention them randomly for folks like you so that you can understand what I mean. Anyway, I went off on a tangent about the fish. You know, because it's the day, most of them are hiding between the rocks. If we had the time, we could have perched on a branch and fish watched. I love to do it. Once the kids grow up, I can get back to it. Fish, they're so intriguing. It somehow feels like they never age, apart from growing in size. And they move so whoosh whoosh, nothing like us. Plus, it must be nice to be able to live underwater. They must not know the fear of falling through air, plummeting towards the ground. I'm sure they must have their own issues, but the water looks so comforting. Of course, being able to fly is fantastic. We get to see most things other animals cannot even dream of. But it comes with its dangers. Still, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I couldn't have asked for a better life at the moment. It seems like we're there already. Look at the fruit. I can tell without tasting or smelling that they're sweet. In their clusters, the spheres resemble bubbles sticking together. When did I see bubbles? I fish watch, right? Sometimes a leopard used to come to drink water from here. It was a funny thing, pretending to be so tough, but secretly blowing bubbles in the water when nobody was around. Yes, I mean, yeah, it was a frightening predator, but the image of it playing seemed so uncharacteristic. So, yeah, that's where I formed the fruit and bubbles analogy. Let's sit under the shrub and look at our surroundings. the pleasant fragrance of the fruit, more like a rose, really, makes an excellent combination with the river, don't you think? What do I think is the future? Who knows? The elephant, the one I told you about, said that the river didn't exist when she was young. Can you believe it? It was all trees and shrubs and grass. But then the river continued to gush, making its way here, eventually turning into the sight in front of us. Right now, only some species of birds and animals live around here. But really, the world changes so fast, so quick. One really can't predict what will happen next month, let alone the future. I wouldn't be surprised if something unimaginable happens, because as history has proven, unbelievable things tend to happen. Look at the time. We've been here for a while. We should grab some food and head back. The kids must be waking up. But I hope this blueberry patch by the river brought you peace like it does to me. If life ever gets tiring, if you feel anxious, or just feel like talking to me, you can come here anytime. You'll remember the way, right?